Hi everyone! So today I'm going to be teaching you how to make homemade macaroni and cheese. So here is the finished product. It's definitely very golden on the top. We may have left it in the oven for a little bit longer than we should have, but it's still really good. It has 3 different kinds of cheese in it and some bacon. But if you don't eat meat or if you don't like bacon, you can just leave out the meat and it'll be vegetarian and meat-free. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it and let's go ahead and jump into everything. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by frying up some bacon here, and I'm just going to push it in the pan. It's like just
throw it in the pan. I'm going to zoom in on this bacon.
Kind of separate it. I did break it up a little bit, so, but it doesn't have to be like precise. Okay, so the bacon is finished, so I'm just going to move it over here into a bowl with some paper towels on it to kind of soak up the excess fat, all the yummy fat. That's the best part. But we don't want it in the macaroni and cheese. Alright, so I have some boiling water here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of vegetable oil just so the pasta doesn't stick. And then I'm going to take my pasta. It doesn't matter what kind you use. I'm using the swirly kind. You can use the traditional like elbows, but I like these better. So I'm just going to take about that much of it and just dump it in. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to the water too. Okay, so I have a small saucepan here on medium to low heat, because, or not medium to low, medium low heat, because you don't want your milk to boil, you just want it to be warm. So I'm going to take a 1.5 cups of milk, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a roux, which is going to help thicken the sauce. So I'm going to start off by using about 2 tablespoons of butter. Let that melt. I'm going to take just all-purpose regular flour. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of this. About 2 tablespoons of that, and then whisk it together for 2 minutes until it forms like a thick paste. Okay, so now I'm going to take the milk and I'm slowly going to start whisking it into the roux. So then you just stir it until it heats up a little bit more and starts to thicken. It's not going to thicken up too much, but I'll notice a little bit.
A little bit less than milk.
Yeah. Time to drain the pasta.
Ooh, tasty.
Now that the milk is heated up into, it's not thick at all, but it has thickened up a little bit, I'm going to add in our cheeses. So I have 3 different kinds of cheese here. It's a mixture of Gruyere, Roquefort, blue cheese, and what was the last one? Why am I? Oh, sharp cheddar. Yeah. A sharp cheddar. So I'm just going to add that in.
Yummy.
And then
I've been stealing the Roquefort.
Yeah, we've been nibbling. A little bit of pepper. And then a pinch of nutmeg. I like a little bit more because I really like nutmeg. And I'm going to dump in the pasta. And just kind of cook it down and let it thicken. Okay, so now it's off the heat and I've mixed it all together. So that's what it should look like. Gooey cheesiness.
Yum.
And now I'm just going to add in our bacon. Make sure it's like separated a little bit. And just mix that in. So now I'm just going to put them in little individual dishes. You don't have to use individual dishes like this. You could just use one big oven-safe dish, glass, metal, it doesn't matter. But these are cute because they're hearts.
These are actually from the Crusade, if anybody is wondering, the make.
So
I know we'll get asked probably.
Spoon this in. So now we have macaroni and cheese in our little dishes. And I have this breadcrumb mixture, so I just crumbled up 2 slices of bread with the crust and then added some basil.
Or basil, depending on where you're from.
Yes. So this is the majestic basil, not to be confused with regular basil. There's really no difference, but it was called majestic basil, which is kind of weird. So it's fresh, so just put a little bit of that in there, mixed it all together. Now I'm just going to sprinkle this over the top. Gets a little bit messy here. Try and guide it. I kind of like to put a lot on top because I like it when it's crispy. Okay, so I'm just gonna put these in the oven for a little bit, if I can get them in. I'm not the most coordinated person with ovens. That's why I'm wearing 2 mitts, just to protect myself. So everything has come out of the oven now, and they are nice and golden brown. So the breadcrumbs on top have crisped up a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to dig into this one so you guys can see what it looks like when you dig into it. Here. Oh. Okay, so that was my mac and cheese, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know if you try it out and tell me what you think. Bye!